All right, guys. Jake Raby here, Aircooled Technology. Coming to you live kind of from the morgue here. So I've just finished tearing down, or partially tearing down, a core engine. You have to forgive the mess because we got quite a bit of mess going on here because this one was kind of a chore to get apart. This engine probably failed 20 years ago or more. And it was basically a freshly rebuilt engine, and even had good looking bearings and things like that in it. And then all of a sudden, boom, it had the classic dropped valve failure. So this is classic with the 914 era, the 2-liter bus era. This engine was a 1.7 liter, which didn't really have this happen to it that often. Usually something led to it. Somebody not adjusting valves, somebody neglecting something, whatever the case may be. But this engine did not have a lot of time on it. I could tell that by a lot of the parts that were in it. So for it to have a failure like this pretty much means somebody probably overlooked a issue that the engine had. They probably kind of went in and did a quick rebuild or something. They did not put new valves in it. And it could have actually been a valve seat failure too, which usually that does not happen to a 1.7 head. If anything, it'll just snap the valve off like what you see here. But this was in the sump, as well as the piston. So this is all piston pieces. So a drop valve is like one of the worst failures you can have with one of these Type 4 engines because it happens instantaneously. And before you can even put your foot on the clutch and stop the car, you've already done a ton of collateral damage. So this one is something that we used to see back in the day. We don't see it quite so much anymore because better valve technology, better materials, awareness for people swapping components when they do a rebuild, all those sorts of things. So I just kind of wanted to go live here and just show you guys, what it looked like. But look how good the center main bearing looks, right? I mean, that's looks really nice. And the engine had a lot of new parts put on it as well. So I'm gonna have to clean this debris field up and get busy putting this thing back together. It'll end up being a 2563 Type 4, and this one actually will go back into a 914. So a lot of our engines today end up as conversion engines into 356s or 912s or Beetles or some other flavor of Volkswagen, but this one's going to go back into a 914, and of course it's going to get new heads and all that sort of thing anyway, so we don't really care about that. As a matter of fact, the only thing I'm going to use from this engine is the crankcase. So hardware goes away, everything's going to get updated, revamped. I'll use the crankshaft gears and a couple of things there. I'll use the hub. Other than that, the rest of this engine is going to end up probably coming back in some recycled form of a new modern car. So anyway, just wanted to show you this debris field, wanted to help you understand what a dropped valve is, which is basically just a valve that snaps in half, drops into the cylinder, busts the piston, and you end up with this big debris field and a big-time failure that cost a lot of money to overcome. So follow us here at Raby's Aircooled Technology as I continue on and build this engine into a 200 horsepower 2563 my way.